Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Episode 8 of Who Should You Choose, the video series where I go through the prior videos, questions, and comments and help you with your hut lineup decisions. Guys, don't forget, Team Build Tuesday happens every single Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on my channel. If you guys are looking for live team build reviews, that's where they happen. All you've got to do is check out my Twitch channel. Sometimes the time will change, but it is Tuesday nights no matter what. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy. I've been enjoying the content. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you can, make sure you have the most up-to-date NHL 22 news and info. All right, let's get into the prior videos, questions and comments. We'll start with J Funk. He says, I think I may be for the first time ever. I don't need any team help yet since I'm just starting out, but thanks for all the help throughout last year. Hello from Nashville, Tennessee. Go Preds. Let's go, dude. And funny, my Sharks play the Preds next, and I think it's on Tuesday night, so no, don't go Preds. All right, Jamie Eddy says, okay. Hurry says, hey, Sleeves, love the streams and YouTube videos. Thanks for providing that. I feel like I've gotten to a point where my team is very good, and I can't make any changes without a huge cost. I am also at that, my man. And I don't want to do tiny upgrades, like 87 Cooch instead of 86. Makes sense. Made a lot of coins by buying and selling X Factors, as well as buying X Factor pasta for 5K. What? Don't know how that happened, but I sold them for 325. Yeah, wow, whoops. Got 700K, 300 gold players. What should I do with my team? And go after someone or just wait for the next event? Don't feel like there's a lot of players I want, except for X Factor McDavid, obviously, X Factor McCarr, and maybe X Factor Stamkos since I'm a Lightning fan, but they're all way too expensive, and I don't know what they are worth. I want to have a competitive team. Loved having McCarr and Hedman together last year. Need a center since Yager expires on Monday, but he has distributor, which I feel is hard to find on a good center, except for Messier, but I don't know if it's worth buying icons before we have the sets. Want coffee as well, but he's extremely expensive. Don't know where to go. All right, so this is a very detailed question, but the reason why I like this is because there's a lot of people like this. Like, this is what I'm going through right now. There has not been a lot of great new content. The event happened, and we all got all of the master sets because they were so cheap, and it's been like 2 weeks since anything cool has come out. And the problem with Max Factor cards is that they're all so damn expensive now. Like, the good ones, you don't find them on the market because no one sells them. You shouldn't sell them. You won't find a McDavid on the market unless someone already has a tradable McDavid. Same with McKinnon. I've been on the hunt for an X Factor McKinnon for, no lie, almost 2 weeks straight now, and I've seen them up for like 600K, and I just don't want to spend that much. So, all right, he's got McKinnon, Matthews, and McDavid. Panarin, Crosby, Kucherov, Barkov, Kane, Eichel, Suzuki, Yager, Ferraro, Jones and Hedman, Carlson, Hughes, and 85 Salming and Hamilton. I will say this. I would probably sell that Salming because he's not really worth the amount of coins he costs, and then go buy the new event Jay Bouwmeester. I think that would be a really nice play for you. Other than that, man, you kind of nailed it on the head here. Like, you're chasing X Factor McDavid. You've got the X Factor 91 Matthews. Eichel, Barkov, Kane. It's like, you're not gonna get anyone else that's that good, man. Like, you're just kind of stuck, which I feel, unless you go after the team builders, and I wouldn't recommend that, especially Foot, because he's just so damn expensive now. So the only one I could recommend would be Jay Bouwmeester. Pig says, hey, what's up, my man? Bruins fan says, always appreciate your grind, Sleeves. I got 400K and a couple power-up collectibles yet. Wonder if it's to invest coins in X Factor upgrades or other cards. Okay, he's got Barzal, Matthews, Ferraro, McKinnon, Taves, Kuznetsov, Pasternak, Couturier, Marchand. A lot of X Factors, and that's probably going to become an issue. He's got Gosses, Bear, Murray, so his defense is pretty weak. I would definitely go out and get Quinn Hughes to replace Murray with, at least, because your defense is fairly weak. Your X Factors, Barzal's perfect. McKinnon, you could probably go. I don't know if the 85 has 90 speed. I think it does. But if you've got, how many collectibles? You've got a couple power-up collectibles left. Oof, and your left-hand side is kind of weak. I would buy base Kucherov. Get rid of Voracek, buy base Kucherov. Your Taves, Couturier. Couturier is really weak unless you max him out. So, if he's untradeable and you're going to invest, oh, man, this is Marchand too. Like, the smart play is to just not invest them at all. Because you're wasting your coins. It is your X Factors. Like, I would get base Kucherov, and I would get base Quinn Hughes, and then I would just spend your coins on upgrading your icon, your Man, but you're going to replace these guys. Like Marchand, do not go any further with. Don't. And honestly, you could bring him all the way back down to 0. Yeah, your right-hand side is so good too, so that's fine. And Couturier really doesn't help you out all that much until you max him out. So if you're going to, I mean, at least he has some value because he's a centerman. So, my current team, what's going on Hockey Lego? He says fly the zone. Basically, all my cards are untradeable. Where do you think I need to upgrade my team the most right now? And what card should I look to get? Okay. So he's got Panarin, Ferraro, X Factor, Kachuk, Point, Suzuki, Marner. Yeah, really don't like your X Factors outside of Panarin. That's tough. All right, so I would 100% get Taylor Hall, the base card, and put him on your first line. After you have that, your first line's a lot better. Your first line defense is okay. Your second line defense, your defense is like okay. Same situation as before. I would probably get rid of Letty and grab Quinn Hughes for 20,000 coins. That's a very good price for him. After that, man, I hate Braden Point and Kachuk cards. Like, that's tough. You're probably just waiting. Like, I would rather have base Pasternak than that 85 point. Like, I would get base Pasternak to replace Kapanen. But that's and then move him to like the second line with behind Point or in front of Point. But that's where I would start. Ben Gates says I'm unsure about abilities and which ones to activate. He's got Suzuki, Matthews. Okay. So which abilities to activate? You want to activate the defensive one first. So the Zibanejad one I would not. I don't know the ones off the top of my head, like what ones are which, but any of the ones that superstar abilities are much more important to activate. Like I would rather activate a whole team of superstar abilities than anyone that has zone, because they're just so expensive. Outside of shutdown, truculence, quick pick, I wouldn't activate really. I'm sure I'm forgetting one. I wouldn't activate any of the zone abilities. And then it's the defensive ones that you want to pay attention to the most. Those are the most important. Riley Blakeney says, hey, Sleeves, not really a question for my hut team, but more of the game itself. When you score a goal with a player, why does it always revert back to first goal of the season instead of carrying over game to game? This also applies to World of Chell. It's very annoying. Also, I've noticed to play with friends in Hut Online isn't working. Failed to retrieve data. Always love the content. Keep working hard. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Those have been logged, and I believe there's a patch coming out for it. It's a joke that it still is an issue in itself. But Brandon Bangla says, hey, what's up, dude? R2 Vinica. Hey, I have X Factor, Crosby, McKinnon, Point, and Stamkos, Petro. That's so many. And I'm going to get at least X Factor Aho because he's my favorite player. Respect. I'm free to play, so who should I keep upgrading? Who should I not upgrade? Or do I upgrade all of those like they're 2.5K? Okay. Well, McKinnon, yes. Stamkos, yes. If Crosby's not tradable, if he's untradeable, then I would upgrade him. If he is tradable, get rid of him. Point, no. Petrangelo's on the fence, but you've already got him at 84. So he's got Stamkos, Draisaitl, Aho. Like I like your team. You're just missing like the basics essentially. So you're missing the guys that I mentioned in my budget video. Like I said, Hall would be perfect for this team to replace Zuccarello or Mantha. You know, or even that lone Yager. Like I think that's a fine move. Your defense is okay. Then you're probably just waiting. But those X factors, I would go that route. Should I light the lamp? Work was comparted. What should I do first? Also, yeah, like I would get Taylor Hall because you've got enough coins for him. He's not that expensive. And then I would sell Crosby if he's tradable. If he's not, upgrade him. McKinnon, upgrade him. Stamkos, upgrade him. Petrangelo, just keep him. Point, get rid of if you can. Minnie Fletcher says, I would sell my soul for X Factor McDavid card. I didn't realize how lucky I was to pack him. That card is going to be the most sought after all year long, as it should be. It's the best card in the game. Zach Montgomery says, first off, thanks for everything you do. Love your content. Thank you, my man. I have 285,000 coins. Where should I start? He's got Barzal, Matthews, Kucherov, Suzuki, Ferraro, Marchand, DeBrincat, Stamkos, Hall. A lot of X factors. Like I would get rid of I would get rid of these guys if they're tradable. DeBrincat gone, Couturier gone. Scheifele you can keep. Yossi gone if you can. If you can't, then whatever. Outside of that, I really like your team, man. You've got 300,000 coins. You could go after like a big fish. Like if you got rid of DeBrincat, I would get Panarin and Pasta. On the other side, you've got Kucherov. I honestly like your team, man. I don't think that there's anything on the other right side. Like if you got, because you don't even need them. You could put Suzuki at center. Nah, and that wouldn't really benefit you. No, man. I think you just wait for the next event. 100%. Ace Leaves, I love the content and was glad to be a part of the major moment in your career over on Twitch. Yo, I appreciate that. It was a wild time, that stream, that subathon. Thank you for being there. Keaton Brown says, I made all the master sets except for Matthews. I have 91 X Factor and Rask. I don't know what I should do. I can't really make any upgrades to my team right now. I've got OV base on my fourth line. What should I do? I'm in the exact same situation, man. Like I said, unless you're making the team builders, like the only one that you can make right now is Bowmeister. That's really it. Like there's nothing. It's unfortunate, but because you can only pack icons, and X Factors are very hard to make. Like you can only make a few of them. You're just the chase for McKinnon, Matthews, McDavid, Gretzky, and Lemieux is like it for us. So, Ace says, wondering what I should do with my team: McKinnon, Suzuki, Matthews, Point. I hate Point. I'd get rid of Point unless he's untradeable. Got the 83 Carlson, Suzuki, Crosby, Scheifele. Got 20K. I know what my next move should be. But your next move is definitely take untradeable rewards. Fowler for Hughes. You've got Hall. There's really not much else with that amount of coins. So just sit tight, wait for the next event, and make sure you take untradeable rewards. All right, Zachary says, Marner, Matthews, Master Set, McDavid, X Factor, Michael Kane, Draisaitl. Any suggestions in the lineup setup, like which line should be on as well? As maybe a suggestion to replace Huberdeau. Greatly appreciate the videos. Thank you, man. To replace Huberdeau, I mean, Hall should be higher in the lineup for sure. Your first line is fine. I don't know if I'd have Eichel at center. I think he's better on the wing. You could put Suzuki at center because he's got quick draw, I believe. Barzali should move up to the first line unless you want to have that Marner Matthews thing going on. Stamkos is fine. Ferraro is good. Your defense is okay. Nothing wrong here. You've got a very good team. And unless you want to spend an insane amount of money on one of the icons or an X Factor, you're just sitting, man. Like, thank you for all the great content, man. Make sure you make this game more fun to play. I appreciate that. I'm really loving NHL 22, and this is my first year getting into HUTs in the opening weeks. My question isn't about which card to choose, but how to manage excess cards you might have. For instance, if you have a base card and you're waiting to get the X Factor, or maybe you have some of the 85 team builders on your way to trading them into the 90s, how do you keep track of them so you don't actually trade them in or something? Do you never use autofill? Along those lines, should we save untradeable team of the week or primetime for future upgrade sets, or is it okay to burn them in sets like Superstar Origin? Great question, and I'm actually going to talk about this in my Market Monday video, a new series that I'm going to start, where basically we just talk every Monday about the market. So, because cards now have individual value, so I'll use an example. So, let's say 85 overalls. Let's just make up a term. So because every overall has a minimum now because of how they work in sets. So like 85s will go for, let's say, 30K minimum. Like any 35, that's the minimum because they go into those sets for like the superstar event and all that, and that's how they're going to work for future events. So there's a floor that they will always stay above because it's no longer just blanket you're trading gold cards. Whereas 74 has the same value as an 86. It's now like 85s have individual value. So like the hard part now is you have to know how much do 85s cost. Okay, let's say it's 30K. All right, so like Matthew Tkachuk or something. I'm just using it off the top of my head. He goes for 30K, but then you pack a Panarin or Pasternak. They go for more than that. Let's say they're 85 as well. Okay, again, just for the example. They go for like 50, 60K. So now you have to memorize not only the overall value, but also the individual card value. So how do you do that? Okay, the best way that I've come across this, guys, and I've been doing this a lot with my team builder cards because I've completed all the team builders that I want to complete, is I go through and I autofill. I go into the team builder sets and I autofill every single team, and I take out untradeable cards. Okay, so I take out untradeable cards, leave those in my collection, but all of the tradable ones are in there. And then what I do is I go and look, and I go down, they'll be like, okay, you still need X amount of 74 to 79 overall cards. I'll click on that individual team, and I'll go click on 74 to 75 Anaheim Ducks, and it will show you all of the 74 to 79 Anaheim Ducks. Then you go to buy now price, and you set it at a maximum of like 2K. Some teams, like for whatever reason on PS5, the Calgary Flames, their minimum 74 to 79 overall card is like 4K, which is insane, right? So you can do this for all of your cards, right? For all of your, your 80, all the way up to 82s. Now your 85s and 83s and 84s, those you're just going to have to, you can put them into a reroll set like the gold one, or even in your trade pile. Click on them and then hit compare price, and it'll show you them all before you list them. So you want to make sure you're doing your due diligence, but the team builder sets and putting it in there was my easiest and kind of nicest hack. Caleb says, pulled an untradeable 87 Crosby. Should I use it to make should I use it as the 87 to make 91 Matthews? I have all the other cards needed. Yeah, I would go ahead and do that for sure, dude. That actually, to be honest with you, that's exactly what I did. I had an untradeable Crosby that I used. Holy, people are trying hard in Hut Champs this year. What else do we got? Hut is so empty, guys. It's the content's nice, the new additions with like X Factors and all that, but the 4 consoles is going to hit hard very soon. We have nothing else to try hard in. We have rivals and squad battles, and that's it. So kind of bleak in my opinion, but nonetheless, we power on. Stewie says, great content, Sleeves Kid with the good work. Thank you, my dude. I appreciate that. Do you think the next event will be shaped like this one? 83 plus gold players in exchange for master sets? Yes, I do. I think that is the new standard that they will use is individual cards. So that's why you're starting to see them kind of have a floor and a ceiling. Let's take a look here. Another Waterboy says, hey, Sleeves, I need help figuring out how to upgrade my team. 88 McKinnon, 90 Matthews, 88 Draisaitl, Barzal, Rantanen, Pasta, Aho, Svechnikov. It's a great team, dude. Theodore, Hamilton. I don't like Theodore. I'm assuming he's untradeable. If he's not untradeable, get rid of him. And even if he is, man, I'd probably just move on. Shabbat and Ellis. Yeah, your defense kind of needs some work. You want to have lefties on the right side and righties on the left side. But look at Seth Jones before the event's over. I think it's going to actually, his price does go up a little bit. Seth Jones would be one I would look at for sure. Trying to make on the right side to get rid of Petrie. On the left side, I don't know how many coins you have. You have a lot. Like I said, that Jay Bouwmeester looks nice. That's where I would focus. Your offense is fine. Also, this guy says pay to win loser. Dude, I mean, like, dude, how can you fault anyone for paying money in a game that they enjoy? You know what I mean? Like, I never understand that, dude. Whatever, man. Sorry that you lose to people with good teams, I guess. Hey, Sleeves, not sure what to do with my team now because it seems like I'm done, dude. Like I said, I'm seeing a theme here because I'm in the same spot. I got blessed and got X Factor McDavid from seasonal exchange. Ugh. And I have Foot and Ulf. Do I just chase Lemieux? My worst player is Base Carlson. He has distributor plug and I'm a Sharks fan. That's all I'm doing, bro. I have not made one roster change on my team in almost 2 weeks. And I know the game hasn't been out for very long, but 2 weeks I have not made one change because there's no one else I can go out and get that's better. Because those guys just simply are not available. Limit says, here's my team, but wondering what your thoughts are on where I should go from here. Suzuki, Matthews, Kucherov, Stone, Draisaitl, Kachuk, yikes. You need speed, man. You need Taylor Hall for sure. I like how you have Kapanen and Bjorkstrand. Those are cheap righty guys to go after, but you should probably move on from one of them. I would get Base Pasta or Panarin. Your defense is actually low-key pretty nice, so I would definitely go and look at those guys. Right? Get a Base Pasternak and get Taylor Hall, and that'll help you out because that whole X-Factor line is awful. Break this up because it has no speed in it whatsoever. All right, guys, that is going to do it for episode number 8. Make sure you leave your comment early and quick, have those notifications on, and subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.